It is
now.
Once again time to get bestial with AI. AI. What's the A stand for? Artificial. Oh, what's the I? Intelligence. Oh, what's the A again?
What is that?
It's from Red versus Blue.
Oh, right. I was like, I know what that is. It's like one of those things I haven't seen in such a long time that whenever I hear it, I'm like, where's that from?
So, Caboose, are you following along? I think so. That guy Tex in the black armor is really a robot, and you're his boyfriend. And that makes you a gay robot.
A gay robot.
Yes, that's right, Caboose. I'm a gay robot.
Too much Energon.
Too much Energon, like this podcast.
Cheetor, what in the ever-loving fuck have you done?
If I wanted to fly, I would have become a bat, not a rat.
It seems my head is purple fire now.
Intelligent conversation.
The louder you yell, the more damage your bullets do.
Ah!
Yes. Oh, yes. Yes. It's gonna blow.
I've decided that I want to live.
No. Not that.
Welcome, listeners, to episode 132 of your favorite 90s kids podcast, Too Much Energon. Your podcast where two dudes talk about Beast Wars shit and talk a little shit about the Beast Wars. I am one of your hosts, NeoCal, and I am joined by the one and only Christopher Siege.
That's me. I am the one and only and very sleepy Christopher Siege. So, hello.
Dance, monkey, dance. You wake up.
I'm starting off with that to kind of forewarn people that I might be a little more low energy, so to speak, on this episode of Too Much Energon. So, and I'm not going to say sorry for that. I'm not apologizing. I'm just telling you how it is.
It'd be like that sometimes.
People don't think it be like it is, but it do. Siege is tired. But he's still here to talk about Beast Wars shit. And talk shit about Beast Wars.
So this episode, in a nutshell, go ahead. Go ahead.
I was gonna do a little bit of housekeeping.
Yeah.
We actually haven't recorded an episode of Too Much Energon in almost a month now. And that was not planned nor intentional. Just a myriad of life things got in the way. I was ill last weekend. We were going to record last weekend. I was ill. Work for me has been a lot. And it's been a lot, but it's been a lot in a way that I'm actually being rewarded for. Like, I actually just got a noteworthy raise. Multiple dollars an hour raise.
Multiple dollars an hour.
Yeah, I'm not going to say exactly. Cal knows, but I'm not going to say how much it was.
It's multiple dollars, people.
It was.
It's above 1 and below 100. I'll say
exactly. It's one of the biggest raises I've ever gotten in my career. I also got Employee of the Month at my store. I just had a big interview yesterday.
That's right. All these things lining up.
I just had a big interview for a corporate management training program. I won't know the results of that for a while, but things are suddenly, the stars are really starting to align for me professionally. Mm-hmm. Also, on top of that, this past week, the assistant grocery manager is off on holidays, and the grocery manager got COVID. And people are also calling in sick willy-nilly. So I have kind of low-key just been kind of leading the department for the past several days.
Yeah, I tell him to high key lead the department, but he doesn't listen. It's all about the low key.
Well, here's the thing: is like I'm only a supervisor, and
Yeah.
I have a couple. There are a couple of other supervisors in the department, and I don't want to like come across as like being someone
Just
who is
puffing
like
and taking over. Yeah.
who is like basically to other people who are technically the same level as I am. Being like, like, all right, well, I'm in command now. Listen to me. Not going to do that. Like,
Basically, he's not Starscream.
yeah,
Not Starscream in this.
So when
the
I
boss
say
is away now, I guess I'm in charge.
Exactly. So when I say like low key, like
Yeah.
kind of take charge of things, it's like I'm basically like being a leader in the sense that like I'm like around the department and saying to other people like, okay, this needs to be done, 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 this order needs to be written, this like administrative thing needs to be done, this needs to be done. And like we all kind of worked together, but like I was the one who was kind of the driving force behind all of that. If that
How
makes
did you
sense.
find that? You didn't find it overwhelming?
No, not at all.
Oh well, there you go. That's why you're moving on up.
Yeah, and indeed, like how I became a supervisor to begin with, like 10 years ago now, was because like I kind of just like took charge and people just started following.
It's funny that it took you going to the certain chain that you're at now for people to start noticing, and because when you were in Victoria, old town where he lived, people, yeah, it was getting the runaround from a bunch of people in higher positions, and oh man, what goofy people.
Well, and even even
the place
when
you're
I
at now seems to actually have their shit together.
Even when I first moved back to Nanaimo, the first grocery store that I worked at I was only there for 9 months.
Right.
I've talked about it in the past. I ended up leaving that job because I was very unhappy. Even they like were. I'm like I have like all these skills. There are all these things that I can do, and you have me doing like these like you have me doing things that I was doing like a decade ago in my career. And they're just like, well, that's the job. And it's like, okay, so no opportunity to at least like show you what I'm made of or anything. And they're like, well, this is what we hired you for.
Cool.
And I'm like, all right, well,
that's a weird mentality.
That's that company.
Yeah.
There's they have a reputation amongst people in the business. But yeah, so I left, and the company that I'm with now, they actually like the store that I'm at now, they recognize my skills, and they are like, I have management who are trying to help me move up, which is not something I've ever encountered before.
Yeah, it almost seemed like I've known him for a long time, folks, so I'm gonna be like paraphrasing and summarizing, but it almost seems like they would try to stop you from like moving up.
Yeah,
like you moving up like is threatening to like their position or something like that.
Yeah, that's kind of the vibe that I got from some previous jobs that I've had.
Right? Yeah.
But no, the store that I'm at, they're actually like really encouraging me to like better myself, and like it's just great. I'm finally like, I feel like I'm being recognized, because like, folks, I'm actually, and at the risk of sounding egotistical, I'm extremely good at what I do. And it's
you know what you know.
And it's nice for people to actually like acknowledge that, recognize it, and acknowledge it. That's what I mean, where like work has been a lot lately, but my efforts are actually like, it's a lot, but it's paying off. Like the I'm getting back what I'm putting in.
Yeah, that's a good way to word it, phrase it.
But so as a result, I've been kind of preoccupied. So our recording schedule hasn't been as frequent as I would like it to be.
Yeah, or like one of us is like asleep at like a really random hour. Like it's just one of those things where I was like, "Oh, what year is it?" Like the Jumanji meme.
See, what year is it? See, I was just gonna like completely blame it all on me, but
No. It's been like me. Sometimes I'm like, "Whoa, what's going on?" or that kind of thing. It'll come. It's a thing, folks. Where when I get paid minimum wage for talking about Transformers, then you guys get weekly content. So join our Patreon.
Yeah, join the Patreon.
Join the Patreon. That way we can make more episodes.
I've started adding new tiers again. So it's not just simply the $5 Gary tier anymore. Yeah, I know, right? I need to come up with rewards for the higher tiers though, because I'm not quite sure. I've reinstated the $10 tier, which right now is basically like it's the same, and everyone still at the $5 tier like gets the exact same thing they've been getting for the past like year now.
Yeah.
But I want to add something for the $10 tier, and I added a $20 tier, which I don't think anyone is going to subscribe to. But if you subscribe to that for 6 months, I'll mail you a t-shirt.
There you go. For $120, you can get a $35 t-shirt. Oh shit, did I just... Except you have to wait 6 months.
Yeah, no, it's basically the $20 tier is basically the tier if you really, really, really like what we do and want to help keep the lights on here at Lasercomb HQ.
Or make us to make more shows.
Or yeah. Maybe that would inspire us to record more regularly these days. If we were actually making money off of this shit.
Yeah, until there's UBI, until we're not living in a dystopia where people have to sell their labor to barons.
Right.
Money, run along now. Money talks.
I know, and that people listening to this are like, oh, you want us to like pay more for your Patreon, asshole? You were just talking about how you got a big fucking raise at work.
Fuck you. Okay, to be clear, like people, it's not like, he's like a salary man and he moved from like 120K to 150K a year. Like, calm down, people. Like he's not working at like a law firm and like, oh, I just closed that big deal.
Right. My it actually tells me what my annual salary is on my company. Well, and I don't get paid salary. I get paid an hourly wage, but it tells me roughly what I make per year. And it went up a couple of $1,000s, which is it's not nothing, but like I'm still not
weekly $10 Subway gift card.
Yeah.
No.
For being employee of the month, I get a $50 gift card for the store that I work at, which I think is pretty rad.
Oh, it's not just an attaboy point?
No.
Oh, cool. I like that.
And I'm also getting a company Storm Tech vest.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Storm Tech's pretty legit, actually. I like Storm Tech stuff.
So I get a $50 like store gift card to use for like anything in the store, and I also got basically $50 credit to buy company merch, essentially. And so
you kind of got like $100
and so what I decided to get was a Storm Tech vest and a toque with company branding on it, because we're getting into cold season. But the Storm Tech vests that they sell, what they sell them at is about half of what they basically sell them at cost to employees.
That's cool.
So like a Storm Tech vest is usually about like $100, and like what they charge employees is like $45.
Yeah, I was gonna say they're usually more expensive.
Yeah.
Well, there we go.
Yeah, there we go. Oh, and also, actually, this is I meant to mention this on the Super Lasercomb Patreon Super Show, which you can listen to by going to patreon.com/lasercomb. This is going back to an old conversation we had a while ago. You remember? This was when I was still living in Victoria, so at least like a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, maybe. We're talking about jury duty.
Yeah.
Talking about jury duty, and you were mentioning about how
I went on a rant.
Yeah, about how like you don't get paid for being in jury duty, so you basically have to be like financially prepared to like have no income essentially, other than the like $20 a day they give you for lunch or something like that.
Yeah, it's like $20 a day
per diem.
Most.
Yeah.
It's like if it goes like on for like 90 days or more, it's $20 a day. If it's only for like 2 weeks, it's like $12 a day. And it's like, bitch, if I have to drive downtown and park all day, like $50.
I was reading our company. There was a memo about internal like company payroll codes for writing on the schedule, like if you need to make schedule changes, because I'm being brought into the loop on that kind of thing. And I was reading that if you're a full-time employee, the company that I work for actually pays you full wage when you're doing jury duty.
A reason to be excited for jury duty? I've never heard of that before.
Yeah, you get paid regular hours, as if you were at work.
Holy wow.
Yeah.
That's wild. Wow, an actual reason to like not get out of jury duty.
The company that I work for is actually, I've heard so many like awful things from people that I've worked with at like other companies.
Mm-hmm.
But the company that I work for has actually been pretty fucking great to me.
It kind of sounds like those are just people that complain about.
Yeah.
And complain about every job. But yeah, like, what the fuck? That's wild.
Yeah. No, the company that I work for is great. Like,
yeah, my old company, they're just like, oh, okay, well, you know, like, you're not fired, but I guess you get the time off. And it's like, oh, cool. One of the reasons you can get
time off,
which I think is like a requirement, like by law in Canada.
Yeah.
Like that you can't be fired or like let go. And they have to give you the time off to actually do jury duty. One of the ways you can get out of jury duty is being like, hey, I can afford not to be working. And they go, oh, okay, bye.
And there I am just being like, the company that I work for is going to pay me to be here. See, so I want to be here.
And not only that, I just got
I will help determine whether this man here is guilty or innocent.
Yeah, anybody listening, I caught a spider, everyone. Anybody listening, Siege is actually wanted to.
I do. I want to experience jury duty.
Jury duty?
For a long time. I don't even know how you get like selected for it. No one, like, it's never happened to me.
I think this came up recently because I had mentioned, oh, my partner was just called for jury duty.
Yeah.
Like 3 months ago or whenever we ranted about that.
I've been legally an adult in British Columbia for 20 years now, and never once have I been summoned. Have I been summoned for jury duty?
And I have been twice. Oddly, less than like 2 years apart.
Huh.
Yeah. It's like, can't quite remember how much, but yeah, I've been summoned like twice. Oh. I think I have a big, long like rant about the process of it.
Yeah, it's. I think it's on Patreon somewhere.
On Patreon, yeah. Yeah, wasn't a fan. See, what we're saying is we need Siege to get summoned.
Yes,
not me.
Please do it. I want to do jury duty.
You know what? Actually, I haven't been summoned since I have all this free time. So I guess I could do it now.
Ironic.
You mean ironic? And it's like this guy doesn't have a real job. He's unfit to be in the to be a juror.
We don't want no scrubs.
Well, scrubs. And I'm like, oh shit. For anybody listening, when you are waiting all day, seemingly, to be selected as one of the jury members, both the judge and the prosecutors and the defendants like team, not the defendant and the prosecution, but like the lawyers and stuff are all there. And for any reason, they can just go, no.
Yeah.
But if all three, the judge, defendant, prosecution, they agree, right? Like they can ask you questions too, right? And yeah, it could be like, just, they don't like how you look. They don't even need to say. They just all need to like agree.
Right.
Yeah. So I would dress a certain way when I was going to these.
Dress like you're a resident of a certain street in Victoria, a certain avenue, if you will.
Oh, that's what I should have done. That's what I should have done. Just dress like can't wait to be on the jury. Real excited.
Have like a hood over your head and like do the like the crackhead shuffle into the courtroom.
Pass the threshold and try to like shake the hand of the judge. Try to shake everyone's hand.
Come in
Next,
with a thing of
get him out of here.
Come in with a thing of Haagen-Dazs.
Just melted Haagen-Dazs just going down my face and my shirt. Fuck. What? They don't feed you out there. So I brought Haagen-Dazs with me. There you go. Tips on how to get out of jury selection.
Just pretend
a tub of ice cream.
Just pretend like you're a crackhead.
Yeah. Or that you really like ice cream.
Well, on that note, this is episode 132 of Too Much Energon, and this week we're, I guess, talking about Beast Wars 2nd, episode 4, The Lake Trap, which originally aired on April 22nd of 1998.
Oh, if you ever get selected, don't say that you've always wanted to be on a jury.
Oh, really?
Apparently, that's one of the things that they get you cut. Yeah. Yeah,
people shouldn't enjoy their time like, here. Damn it.
Because you might have like a motive that doesn't like correspond properly. Like, oh, why do you want to be doing this? Like, right?
No, fair enough. For me, I don't know. It's like one of those like grown-up things.
Yeah.
That you do.
You see in movies all the time.
Yeah.
I want to be like, one of those extras on the side.
Yeah, I just want to experience that.
Yeah. Come on, people, make it happen.
I really like the movie 12 Angry Men, okay?
I was trying to fit a 12 Angry Men joke into that, but I couldn't come up with it.
It was funny. Bibbs and Whitney, podcasters and film critics that I listen to, and I've mentioned them on this show a million times before. They recently had an episode of one of their shows where they were counting down their picks for the top 10 movies largely set in one location. And as I'm listening to it, and like as the list is going down and down and down, I got to a point where they were at like number 4 and they still hadn't mentioned 12 Angry Men yet. And I'm like, I think I know what both of their number 1s are. And lo and behold, it was 12 Angry Men. Which, listeners, if you haven't watched 12 Angry Men, legitimately one of the greatest films of all time.
Legitimately.
And it's quite literally just 12 guys in one room for like 2 hours having conversations. And it's riveting.
Riveting. I guess I should watch it. Last time I watched it, I was like a kid, and I didn't like it. So I was a kid.
I think the last time I watched it was about 10 years ago. I've been kind of wanting to go back to it again. I've seen it like maybe 3 or 4 times over the years.
Speaking of a kid,
Tasmania Kid.
Tasmania Kid. Tasmanian Kid fucks around and finds out the episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, basically. Well, that was episode 132 of Too Much Energon.
I mean, like, kind of, like, just go through the like motions of it. I was really trying to pay attention, but it is one of those episodes where he's off on his own doing Tasmanian Kid stuff. And he finds a lake. And the bad guys are doing bad guy stuff at the lake. Man, the infrastructure. Like, how do they assemble these like giant structures so quickly?
I know, right? Where are they getting
Were
the
you thinking
resources?
that too?
Yeah.
Yeah, because when he infiltrates this place, it fucking like, huge. It's like a secret base in like a Metal Gear Solid game, right? Like where they're assembling Metal Gears. Metal Gear. What's the one from 2 called?
Ray,
yeah. And I'm like, are they building Ray in here? Like, what's going on?
Okay, so the Tasmania Kid is out like wandering in the wilderness, and like he comes to like a little like lake area, and we find out the Decepticons are building a big ass like undersea base or something.
Under Lake Base.
Yeah.
Not to be confused with Under Lake Bass.
Underwater.
And we get a brief, because it always needs to visit her once every episode, to remind us that Moon Princess exists.
Oh, just before that, though, I was going to point out that Tasmania Kid's little Tasmanian devil buddy shows up again.
But he's smaller than I remember.
He is smaller, and he's cuter. And, well, they seem to have become pals now, which I found fucking adorable.
Okay. Yeah, I swear he was like bigger.
Yeah.
Matt. Like they were almost the same size.
Or maybe it's a different one. I don't know. It's a Tasmanian devil.
Anyways, he's got like a little Tasmanian devil and he's getting along with him.
Yeah, it's his little buddy, and I thought it was really cute.
Excuse me. And we get shot up into the moon, and Moon Princess says, "Oh, for those of you, does she break the fourth wall? I don't know. Who don't know what angle moist is? Angoro moist is
angle moist.
She like corrects the because he's like, oh, what is it? Moon? Angle moon? Because the bunny always says moon.
What is that stupid rabbit that she's hanging out with doing? He's like drinking juice or something?
Milk from like a carton, like a little juice box, but like milk.
Yeah.
And or something. Angle moist milk. Angle milk. And Princess Moon is
the
like
Angle Slammers.
Princess Moon is like, no, it's pronounced Angoro and moist. And I'm like, yes, that is how it's pronounced. So that's canon now. That's how I'm gonna say it. So it's the life energy that Gaia has that makes it unique, and that's what the Decepticons.
That's right. That is what the rabbit. He's drinking the Anglemoy.
Yeah.
That is what he's drinking.
Yeah. And instead of listening to Princess Moon explain this, they finish their milk, their Anglemoy milk, and they go, "Oh, hey, I'm out. Can I have more?" And as is tradition, she gets angry.
Can I have some more?
As is tradition, she gets angry and takes a giant hammer and smashes it in the head.
As is tradition.
Yeah.
Just engages in homicide.
Rabbit side. Bunny side? Bunny side. There we go.
I don't like that.
I don't like that at all.
No. I got listeners. I got a lot of wild bunnies who just live in my neighborhood.
They just kind of like chill and like let you walk up to them.
Yeah. I've
really photogenic too.
I've come really close to being able to pet a couple of them now. There's like 2 of them in particular who are just like really okay with me.
Yeah, join the Discord so you can see pictures of these like really photogenic, like chill rabbits.
Yeah.
Like you can just walk up to near Siege's place. But yeah, this unlike those rabbits, this rabbit has no chill because it's, I don't know, rabbit side. I'm sure it's fine.
He's angle slammed up.
He's angle. Well, if the comics would lead us to believe anything, he should be all rage roided up after right? After drinking all that angle slam?
After drinking all the angle slam and eating all of the chocolat covered unicorn panda puffs.
I don't even remember what those words like stem from anymore. Just all it's gobbledygook. It's at this point.
It's just it's too much
Angle
Energon
moist.
canon.
Yeah. The chocolat was the
Shockaract.
Shockaract. But I don't even know what that is. I'm on too much Energon and I don't even know what Shockaract is.
And
is that a
unicorn-
Transformer?
Yeah.
Unicron, right?
Yeah. Unicorn Panda Puffs was Unicron.
Yeah.
It was like the unholy like alliance or something like that of like
Shockaract was trying to get all the angle moist.
Yeah.
So
Chockaract was possessed by Unicron, and he didn't know he was, but he was possessed by Unicron, and he was trying to get the Anglemoy energy.
Can't even make this up.
Nor would we want to. No.
Yeah. So what ends up happening here when we go back down? He radios like home base, Tasmanian Kid, and he's like, "Okay, guys, I found a secret base. I'm going in.
I got this."
And then I got this. And in typical fashion, they're like, "Tasmanian Kid, what have you done? Wait for reinforcements." No. This is my time to shine. He's like, if you don't like Cheetor for some reason, he's like a way more Cheetory Cheetor.
He is, yeah. I was actually thinking that when I was watching it earlier. I'm like reading his dialogue. I'm like, this is very like Cheetor. Cheetor saying some Cheetor bullshit.
Like a younger, more eager Cheetor, yeah. Yeah, it's basically, Tasmanian Kid says some Tasmanian Kid bullshit, the episode. Yeah. And he's hanging out with his buddy, the real Tasmanian devil creature, and it starts digging. And that gives him a plan.
He's going to tunnel his way in.
He's going to tunnel his way in. The base is in a lake, by the way, people.
Yeah.
You'd think swimming in would be the way to go, but no, that's later with Scuba and Frog Guy.
Right. Diver
and Scuba. But yeah, he gets in there and they know he's in there like immediately. Like fucking right away. Like the second he transforms. It's not like a rat trap infiltration mission. There's like a screen that goes on and everything, and they're like, welcome. And before, like, I can't remember who's addressing him. Bomber or the...
I think it was Starscream.
Maybe it was Starscream, yeah. Who, by the way, coolest version of Starscream is in Beast Wars 2nd. Maybe.
Yeah.
Actually, I really liked War for Cybertrons. I know, controversial opinion.
Yeah, I like War for Cybertron itself is just a controversial opinion, but
yeah, apparently. Let alone any character from it.
Yeah. But I mean, folks, if you're listening at this point, you've probably listened to all of our War for Cybertron trilogy episodes. We generally liked that series.
And a good litmus test is what we rate that versus the other Beast Wars media we consume, right? Like, I'm sorry, but not a lot of it's good.
from that to the comics.
Oh man, yeah. But this at least you know what you're getting.
Yeah, getting some silly bestial hijinks on the planet Gaia.
Yeah. And then the Starscream's all like, oh, yeah. So well, like the Saw soundtrack plays in the background. dun 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 dun, and he's like, "So you're trapped here?" And he's like, "Joke's on you, I suck." Like the Maximals, they're not going to lose anything of value if you guys take me out. And Starscream's like, "Huh, didn't see that coming." But I mean,
just
knowing Maximals, though, give me a minute.
Give me a minute to confer with my colleagues.
Yeah, and then he's like, "Well, yeah, but the Maximals will do anything to try to save you. So it's not just that you're useless; you're also a liability." Starscream out, and he just hangs up on him. And Tasmanian Kid's like, "Shit, I have a reason to live."
Damn it! I need to escape now. And then he just does.
What a weird defense. It's like, go ahead and kill me. Nobody cares. I'm useless.
And so he goes to try to escape, and he even says to himself, like out loud, he's like, "This is too easy. I feel like they're letting me escape." And then they're watching. He goes all John McClane and like starts crawling through a like air vent, and the Decepticons are watching on a monitor, and one
literally
of them like
yeah, it reminds me of the comics where they're eating like popcorn, like nuts
yeah.
and bolts. They're just like watching him.
And one of them, I can't remember which one, but one of them is like was like, "Ha, what an idiot. He doesn't even realize that this is gonna make things even worse for him." Yeah.
And cue escape scenes with like spikes and like buzzsaws and
Yeah.
just like shit trying to kill him.
There's this and you remember I think it was the last episode where you said that what is it, Dirge and Thrust are kind of the Jay and Silent Bob of this group.
Yeah.
Starscream is like chastising them and like shit talking them throughout this episode, and he's calling them like the useless comedy duo.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I saw that.
Like actually in dialogue.
Dirge and Thrust are kind of the Jay and Silent Bob of the show.
Right.
The fact that the show actually has like, it's kind of like why I liked Scorponok or Scorponok in a coach hat. One of the only good things to come from the 2021 IDW Beast Wars comics.
Right.
Which of there are a handful of things, and only a handful. But where he's like capable, but like also lovingly dumb. It's like why people like Pterosaur
Or Waspinator.
or like Waspinator, right? Dirge and Thrust are just fun. When a lot of the Predacons are like super serious business.
Yeah, and there's kind of this like little like bit of bickering back and forth between like Starscream and BB and Dirge and Thrust, because like they're kind of accusing one another of like essentially like trying to take all the credit for like capturing the Maximals and whatnot.
Yeah, we covered it before, but BB is Starscream's like muscle.
Yeah.
And the other competing like flying like bots, the other like seekers, if you will, are Dirge and Thrust.
What are they called? I've looked this up. They're called the Auto Rollers.
Specifically the flying ones that don't roll. Kind of weird. I thought all the construction ones were the auto rollers.
One of the auto rollers is a jet.
Oh.
The auto rollers consist of Auto Stinger, who turns into a dump truck, Auto Crusher, who turns into a payloader, Auto Jetter, who turns into an FA-18 fighter jet, and Auto Launcher, who turns into an armored personnel carrier.
So he's also one of the flying dudes.
Yeah.
So the auto rollers are just some of the Decepticons.
Yeah, I guess, yeah, apparently. Oh, there's also
But none of them are like insects. Or
There's also the
dinosaurs.
Combatrons, who is okay.
Right.
So the Combatrons are Starscream, BB, Dirge, and Thrust.
Combatrons are those 4 flying ones. Okay.
Yeah,
Intuitive.
we
So
figured it out.
intuitive.
We figured it out, folks.
The Combatrons. The important ones.
According to the TF Wiki, the Combatrons are a group of Predacons who transform into military jet fighters, and that's about all they have in common.
TF Wiki's great, people.
Yes.
They're
So
Predacons, but there's no dinosaurs or anything.
I know that's why I keep calling them Decepticons. Is because
People
like,
listening, like that's why we're calling them the Decepticons, because like none
They
of
don't
them
turn-
are like
they don't turn into
insects
creatures.
or
Like, they-
dinosaurs.
Yeah.
They're
And
not beast
they're called the
food.
Destrons in the Japanese version, which is
Right.
what the Decepticons were called in G1. They were also
Yeah.
the Destrons. So I'm like,
Oh yeah, so they're basically the Decepticons. Yeah,
Yeah.
They just have different subsets. Yeah, the auto rollers and the.
and they
I
have
already
the
forgot the name of the ones that fly.
Combatrons.
Oh, Combatrons. Oh, because they combine.
No, they don't actually. That's what I thought too when I read the name at first. So I kind of skimmed the TF wiki, and it's like, no, they actually don't combine.
Fucking names of.
To be fair, it's not, I think it's like Combatrons, not Combitrons, as in combination.
Combat rather
Yeah.
than
Combatrons.
Right? Yeah. Okay, that makes more sense. Yeah.
Still a stupid name.
Seekers, man, easy to remember. They fly.
Yeah.
They look for shit.
They fly. They seek.
They
They
destroy.
fly some more,
They fly some more.
and then they seek,
And then
and then they get like chopped in half by Optimus Prime's like battle axe.
they're there to get chopped up a lot of the time.
They are
You
cannon
think being
fodder.
able to fly would actually be one of the better advantages, but you only have 1 HP. You do one shot, you're taken down.
Yeah. It's just
Fucking-
like Odd Job, like going around a map in 007 with a golden gun.
License to Kill. Everybody gets killed in one hit.
One
Odd Job
slap.
with the golden gun.
Slappers.
One slap. Yeah. So what happens? They form like a rescue team, the Maximals, because they're like, that little shit got caught, didn't he?
Yeah.
And you know who's good in the water?
Scuba and Diver.
Scuba and Diver, folks. Scuba and Diver going in.
But so, Lio Convoy, Bighorn, and Apache all go to this lake, and they're confronted by G2 Megatron, by the voice of G2 Megatron over a loudspeaker, and he's like, basically, to very quickly like summarize, we have your boy over here. We're gonna
That's
fuck
right.
him up unless you surrender. You have 20 seconds to comply.
You have
And
20
Lio-
cycles to comply.
20 cycles to comply. And Lio Convoy is like, so how long is that exactly? Okay,
Megatron out.
okay, just give us a second here. And so they talk a bunch, and he's like, okay, Lio Convoy, what is your decision? And Lio Convoy is like, we are, all right,
Prepared
we've
to
decided
make that sacrifice.
we are going to surrender. And Apache and Diver are both like, ooh, and like this like weird like series of this like spike cage like emerges from the ground surrounding them.
It was
And
already in the ground.
it was already in the ground.
And it's
And-
like, why did they, like, if they just weren't standing there,
If they
Wait,
weren't
they could've-
standing there.
they could have caught them even if they didn't surrender
Yeah.
because they didn't know it was there.
Yeah.
How nice of them to wait for the Maximals to agree to surrender to catch them.
Captors with dignity is what that is.
That's right. Yeah. No war crimes here. Leave that to mainframe studios Megatron to commit the war crimes.
And so Bighorn is all like to Lio Convoy, like, bro, what the fuck? And Lio Convoy is like, we may have been taken prisoner, but there are others among us who want to save Tasmania Kid. He says it in a really like weird way. I'm kind of paraphrasing.
All of you want to save?
I'm kind of paraphrasing there, but it's something along those lines. And then it cuts to like the water, like it goes into the water, and we see like Diver and a very hilarious shot of like Diver's head like sticking out of the water, which is actually what I made the episode art.
Yeah.
And he just like sinks down, and then Scuba's down there too, and they infiltrate.
Yeah.
What the fuck even
the
happens
thing about every scene to scene in this is that it seems like every individual scene is shot with a loose storyboard in mind, and that they barely like connect together. Like, haha, we may be caught, but there are some of us that don't want to be caught.
That's
you need to take it.
4 episodes in, what I'm noticing is that there's barely any story to these at all.
Oh no, absolutely not.
And like I remember mentioning on the last episode
like
that
things just happen.
Like the formula seemed to be like like characters go out, they encounter Decepticons, they battle, they meet up with their friends again, and then they battle the Decepticons and win.
Right.
And then go home.
And then go home. Yeah.
That's kind of the structure of like every episode of this show so far.
This is a little bit more. Wait, no, it's not. I was going to say this is a little bit more complex, but
this deviates slightly. I'll give it credit, because this starts off with a Maximal being kidnapped, which is a new thing. We haven't seen that before.
That's fair.
So,
but otherwise, it is like a Maximal getting in over his head, not being able to defeat the Decepticons, but with the power of friendship, you always defeat the Decepticons.
So here's the thing that I'm going to say about Beast Wars second, and by God, we're only 4 episodes in at this point. There are things that I find very amusing about this show.
There's endearing moments, yeah.
But I can't say that I
animation.
like it.
I can't say I don't have an opinion yet.
Okay.
Yet.
Where they're like,
that's not good, but it's not.
It's
not
good
bad.
conversation.
There are those moments. There are those moments. Yeah.
Right. It's good conversation fodder for the podcast. So but
good background, like watching. Like if you were to write, what I'm just saying is, this isn't the show to have running in the background if you're planning on writing a Beast Wars comic.
Unless you understand Japanese, because then you can just hear the dialogue.
And even then, probably not the best.
Not that the dialogue in this show is like anything above like 4 out of 10 anyway.
Yeah. But how does it even resolve it? Scuba and Diver like go and find and save.
Go and save Tasmania Kid. The other Maximals get free somehow. I can't remember how. I don't really care. They all end up on the...
Bighorn gets angry like Minsk from Baldur's Gate 2 and bends the bars or something.
Something like that. And so they all end up on the Decepticon base, and G2 Megatron is like, aha! You're all on the base now. Initiate
that was my plan.
Auto-destruct sequence. And so they seal them off, and like all the Decepticons like fuck off, and they're all like, they fell right into our trap. And the Maximals,
really? That was your all this infrastructure that you spent like hundreds of cycles building?
Yeah.
Your plan was just blow it up?
Again,
that's what I mean. I feel like there are actually like 5 writers, and each one is given a 5-minute sequence, but it's like what's it called? Like telephone or like whatever. You don't get to see it. Verbally, it's passed on. Okay, goes into the base. Got it. Okay, what did you say? Oh, swims into the base and then they're captured. Got it. Oh, the fourth, like, writer for like the, 15-minute like section in. Oh, what? Yeah. There's going to be an obstacle course inside.
Well,
yeah, sure.
A telephone in screenwriting refers to a scene in which characters are walking and talking.
Oh, I meant like the game, like telephone, where it changes because you need to remember what the last person told you and verbally communicate it like down the line.
Oh, I would be horrendous at that. My auditory comprehension is awful.
And that's the fun of it, right? So you might be like, oh, hey, like, like a badger is going grocery shopping tomorrow, like with a rabbit. And like down the line, as it changes, like 10 people down, it's something like, oh, we're going shopping for rabbit meat.
The jam is moldy in the kitchen, and the rolling rabbit gathers no moss. What are you talking about?
There's a reboot throwback. Yeah, so that's what I feel like. I feel like the writers play telephone as they're passing on like what happens, because like, haha, you stepped into our trap. It's a self-destruct sequence. And it's like, hey, what? Okay. Blow up your like $1 billion like underwater secret base. I have a feeling that wasn't your plan, but it's a good backup plan, I guess.
It's a good way of saving face. Being like, ha-ha!
Ha-ha! And
I've wasted all this time, money, and resources on building this base.
But we're going to kill all the Maximals.
But at least I get to destroy you. And of course, that was my plan right from the beginning. Yes.
Well, time for us to go. We don't need to stay around and make sure that all of you are dead. Like any good Bond villain, I have places to go.
And if I remember correctly, the Maximals kind of just, like, because they get sealed in, but they kind of just, like, go to beast mode and then run the other way and escape.
They just, like, run through the facility in beast mode?
Yeah.
And
then just get out. It's like... Ironclad plan.
They just go through different corridors in, like, a montage sequence until they're free.
Yeah.
Which is kind of amusing in itself. It was like, haha, this direct area next to the exit. But lucky for you, there's a 1-minute timer, like there always is.
Yeah.
And we measured all the other alternate routes out. You'd have to move pretty quickly if you wanted to get out. So they all get out.
Yeah. And how does the episode end? What happens?
Mini Moon has a segment. Oh, before the epilogue. They all look off into the sunset, and they're all like, "Don't be so hard on that Tasmanian kid. Looks like he made a new friend today." Right. And it's like, well, are you going to say thank you to your new friend, Tasmanian Kid? Tasmanian Kid leans down to the little Tasmanian devil creature and like pets it or something, and he's like, "Thanks. I couldn't have done something without you."
Yeah.
And then they all like put their hands on their shoulders and like enjoy the sunset together.
And that's the episode, I guess.
But then there's the epilogue, the new sequence where
oh shit, I shut it off after that. Okay.
Where Moon Girl.
All right, folks, I'm learning something new live on the recording here.
That's right. And there's a new segment, and I don't remember what the hell she's talking about. Is she explaining more about the show?
All right, I'm on the TF wiki. Artemis and Moon, which I guess is their names. Yeah. So Moon Girl and
Rabbit
Bunny Man. Begin. I'm not going to call them Artemis and Moon. Begin the first Artemis and Moon 2 report, or second report, I guess, by talking about Angle-Moy energy, which Moon mistakenly calls Anko Mochi energy, after a kind of sweet rice cake. Before any interesting information can be divulged, Tasmania Kid butts in to hijack the segment and talk about how awesome he is.
And then when she gets back to talking about things, she's like, "What? We're out of time already? Tasmanian Kid."
I'll get you, Tasmania Kid. Mark my words.
And yeah, that's how she talks. She talks in that accent.
She talks like JFK from Clone High, damn it.
That's right. Hate that Tasmanian Kid.
He represents everything that I stand against. He doesn't like sex, and I do.
Did I mention I have lots of sex?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
That fucking show.
Yeah. The revival of it's pretty good.
Back,
too. Yeah. I watched like the first 5 episodes or so.
Shit. Yeah, I should watch it.
Of the new season. It's actually not even a revival. It's just considered season 3, season 2, or season 3.
Continuation, yeah.
Yeah, continuation.
Yeah. The teenagers got unfrozen.
Yeah.
In the future.
It's there's an entire recurring bit in one episode where Abe keeps trying to use the R word, and he keeps saying it, and people are like, "Dude, you can't say that anymore." He's like, "What? Everyone said that. Used to say that."
Wow, yeah, that because takes us back.
Yeah, the early 2000s, everyone did say that all the time,
right?
And in the town that I am living in now, people still say it all the time.
Yeah. That's right. Robots instead of Transformers. Can you believe it?
Yeah, I know, right?
Robots aren't sentient. That's not the right word. It's offensive to Transformers to call them robots.
Yeah.
Yeah. And here on Too Much Energon, we rate some stuff.
Yes,
and
we do.
We're rating this episode before we go and have a snack, have a sleep, and
I'm going to be sleeping very soon after we're done this.
All right, so we got 3 tiers of ratings here. It's not enough Energon, a sufficient amount of Energon, and too much Energon. It is bad, okay, good. Siege. What do you give Secret Lake Escape Tasmanian Kid edition?
It gets a not enough Energon for me. I might have even gone to the secret special hidden bottom tier.
Oh no, that's for things we hate.
Fair, but the only thing I really liked about this episode was I liked the
cute things.
Tasmanian devil.
Yeah, you like when Diver pokes his head out of the water and glares at the camera. And
other than that, this episode was just nothing to me.
We both watched it, but it's in and out.
Yeah.
I remember as much about it now as I did 10 minutes after I just watched it. So it didn't matter when we. Yeah, not enough Energon.
Well, there it is.
There it is. I'm gonna mirror that sentiment there. It's just it's not even character development or really funny.
No, this is kind of the epitome of a filler episode.
Yeah, and all of them are episodic, and it's it's not like any of them are like great or whatever, but we don't really get any character insight. We tried, we've seen. In each episode, it's been oh, okay, this is the introduction. Oh, okay, this is Lio Convoy's appearance. Oh, this is for Bighorn, right? And this, it's just kind of one of those annoying Cheetor episodes of OG Beast Wars, except without the hijinks.
Right.
I could have used more hijinks, is what I was saying. Is what I'm saying.
Okay.
Yeah, so not enough Energon. Needs more hijinks.
Yeah, unfortunately, the little Tasmanian devil cub just it's cute, and I like Tasmania Kid, the dynamic he has with Tasmania Kid, but it's not enough to save the episode for me.
Maybe for these episodes, we'll have to switch to the Angoro Mois rating scale, which is its own scale.
So that what would that scale be? Chocolat, Angle Slam, and Unicorn Panda Puffs. Which would be the top and which would be the bottom?
Right. So Unicorn Panda Puffs would be the top.
Yeah.
Angle Moist would be not enough. Angle Moist is like the bottom, and Choco Racked is the mid tier.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I don't know though, because the Angle Moy is like this powerful substance, so I feel like that should maybe be the middle tier. And I mean, Chocolat is kind of nothing without Unicron or the Angle Slam.
Right. He was just a nobody without it.
Yeah.
Right. But it doesn't work because two of those are entities and one of them is just energy. People were very tired and
Well, yeah, whatever. Before we duck out of here though, I've got an email I want to read. We got an email. We don't get those very often, but
remember email, kids.
This one comes from Steven, a new listener. He says, "Good day, Misters Siege and Cal. I've been binging TME for the first time for a little bit. I'm somewhere in the middle of season 1 of Beast Machines at the moment." Okay,
Ooh.
so he's
going through.
Yeah, those are I think we were at episode 70. Or no, 51. 51 was the first episode.
What a great intellect you must house for you to even remember any of that. For me, it's just like, I don't know. If you told me it was episode 152 today when I was doing the intro, I probably would have just believed you.
I mean, I am the producer here, so
that's fair. Yeah,
I probably should know these things.
But yeah.
So he said, again?
Sorry,
Steven.
Steven, thanks for listening.
Yeah. He says, "It's been great going back through Beast Wars and Beast Machines. It's so much better seeing them in production order and seeing how these plot lines all actually work together or didn't. Am I right?" Yeah. No random shots of Inferno just flying through the sky before he's even introduced.
And trying to follow these shows when you were a kid. Yeah, good luck.
Yeah. Anyway, my partner and I were catching up on Ahsoka. That's that Star Wars show that apparently everyone hates.
Oh, the newer one, right.
Which I guess isn't, by saying that, isn't really narrowing it down. Last night, and at one point a character says, "Their ship is 2 clicks into the forest." I started bursting out laughing. My partner looked at me like I was crazy. I simply told her, "It's 2 clicks into the forest. How many cycles will it take to get there?"
That's pretty direct reference, yeah.
An entire Saturday afternoon is how long it will take.
Yeah. How long? Yeah, which is something you like exactly said, like, oh, like they're 2 clicks, blah blah blah. Oh, it'll take 2 cycles to get there. Yeah. Well, it depends how many cycles per hour. Yeah, cycles per minute you can click. Who even knows? I feel like even like the creators of a lot of the comics, and well, we had an authority actually talk about that,
right? Yeah, Gary Primal himself, Mr. Optimus Primal, Gary Chalk, the answer that he gave was as to how long a cycle was my favorite that we've received thus far. So, and we're not going to tell you what it is, because if you want to know, you got to go and listen to episode 128 of Too Much Energon.
Yeah, but that is my like headcanon answer.
Yeah,
that is the closest thing we have to an authority. You don't believe us? Go look this stuff up. There's like 17 different entries for how long like clicks, nanoclicks, cycles, nanocycles. Sometimes a click is a time. Sometimes it's like a distance. Here on planet Gaia,
it's just a feeling in your heart.
yeah, which you should probably go get checked out because you're a transformer and it shouldn't be clicking. No, it's the cycles and nanocycles and stuff. Oh, it depends where you're from too.
Right.
Cycles are different on Cybertron.
He continues. So yes, thank you for ruining my brain to the measurements of clicks and cycles for the foreseeable future. Much enjoying the show. Did a Beast Wars tabletop RPG ever come about? Would love to listen in on that as well. Until next time, maximize.
Maximize, brother.
I still want to do that at some point.
We're gonna fucking do that. Absolutely. Like, I think both of us are like way more involved in like understanding tabletop games and are like way more comfortable with that too, as well as in like producing like these kind of things in your case, right? And we've both been playing like Baldur's Gate, and you've even told me, as somebody who doesn't like partake of like Dungeons and Dragons recently, that like playing Baldur's Gate kind of makes you want to.
It's actually like that game has been teaching me like how like the nitty gritty of like how the rules of D&D work.
Pretty close too.
Yeah,
like, legitimately. Yeah.
So yeah, I think I would like to do that. I think I would actually like to spin it off, because originally when I mentioned the idea, it was going to be like the last like 5 episodes or so of Too Much Energon when we were planning on ending with episode 100. But I think I'd actually like to spin it off into its own show.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Separate it from Too Much Energon. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because then it could, arguably, if that's its own show, we're just talking about this for the first time, folks. If it's its own show, when that like campaign is finished, nothing's kind of like stopping us from continuing that show. But like, you know, season 2 where we do like reboot, or season 2 we do a different like setting.
Season 2, Transmetals.
Oh shit. Transmetal 2.
So yeah, I would like to revisit that idea at some point in the future, when this show is done,
yeah, because then we have like a thing that's kind of like finished, and then another thing thing about those tabletop things is you gotta be consistent, right?
Yeah.
Like, because it involves more than just Christopher and I being like, fuck it, let's do it right now, right? When it's like, anybody listening to this, I assume you're like in your 30s or 40s, maybe your 20s.
Nothing younger than late 20s would be my guess.
And oh man, you know what it's like trying to like get a group of 5 people together at the same time. Oh, I worked that day. Oh, we're going on a trip. Somebody gets sick or like whatever. You trying to get a D&D like a game like going. Is like the same thing. And so we would need other things to clear up, and like people that are yes, I will do this every single Friday,
and in
Saturday,
a Beast Wars context too, for that kind of campaign, we could
even more niche. Yeah,
well, it's more niche, but like let's say like someone can't be there for a particular week, but like everyone else can. We can just be like, oh, their character is in the CR chamber.
It kind of works with that a lot better than other. No, legit. Like in D&D, you're like, are they here? Yeah, but like the dungeon master's going to role play them.
Yeah, no, it's like
they're off praying or like something. No,
we could just start that play session off with like, oh, like they fucking rock falls on them and they're in the CR chamber.
And if we know they're going to miss the next session, during a session, we can drop a rock on them. Or they can pull a Waspinator. Oh, Waspinator has to pull himself together.
Yeah.
Like if we know somebody's going to like miss a future session or whatever. And it actually works. Yeah, it's good thinking.
Yeah.
One of those things where, and maybe it'll be different when we actually like play. I run games and I'm like part of games. as well. When one person's missing, the show must go on. But when two cast members are missing, it's like, blah. So it's a wash at that point. But the thing about Beast Wars is sometimes an episode is just a Cheetor fucks around and finds out episode.
Yeah.
So, I mean, can work anyway. Would be nice to have people that could regularly play, but they're good backup options. I hear what you're saying.
Yeah,
I like it. Yeah. I like it. Oh, don't miss the session when everybody becomes transmetal. Because we know what happens when
you're in a CR chamber, you don't get to be
you
transmetal.
don't get to be transmetal. That's a good incentive to make sure people come to every episode. Don't want to end up like old Uncle Rhinox.
All right. Or like a pterosaur and Scorponok, you just end up like falling off of a terror board into lava.
God. And then nobody ever talks about you again.
Yep. Speaking of never talking about things again, that was episode 132 of Too Much Energon. And best way to support the show is to go to patreon.com/lazorcomb. LAZORCOMB. We're at the $5 Gary tier. You get access to our Patreon exclusive podcast, the Super LaserComb Patreon Super Show. You get the occasional commentary track. We just did one for Dick Tracy not too long ago. You get to pick a show for us to review a random episode of on our other show, the LaserComb podcast, which we're really behind on that, but we'll try to. I want to get back on the recording train, you know. And anyway, if you want to get in on that, go to patreon.com/lazorcomb. You can follow me on X, formerly known as Twitter, because I've started posting there again, at LaserComb. You can follow me on Blue Sky, at LaserComb. You can follow me on Instagram, at Christopher Siege, SIEGE. You can add me as a friend on Xbox Live, at LaserComb. That's my gamer tag. You can follow the LaserComb TikTok, which is literally just clips of us spouting bullshit from various episodes, because I don't post anything else on TikTok.
Maybe you'll like that more than watching the longer content.
Maybe that's the that's the TikTok audience right there.
Yeah.
LaserComb on TikTok. Cal, where can people find you?
Oh man, even when I was on Twitter, I wasn't posted like a couple times a week maybe, but I'm not on there anymore. I'm on Threads as NeoCal. I'm on the Instagrams as like CalHalla, although I like haven't posted anything in like 2 years. I'm on Blue Sky, be one of the few people to add NeoCal on Blue Sky. But yeah, honestly, like it's basically like TikTok, and which I'm NeoCal on TikTok, and the Discord. Come join the Lasercorn.
Lasercorn.
Lasercorn. Is there a beast former named Lasercorn?
I wish
there should be a Lasercorn.
That could be part of the Beast Wars campaign that we do.
Ooh, write that down. Lasercorn. But yeah, the Discord where like we actually like engage. Like social media for me is like kind of dying, but like the Discord, I still like post memes or like chat with people or get ideas from.
Funny enough, I just had a big interview recently, which I think I talked about at the beginning of this episode. And one of the questions they asked me was like, "Oh, what's a way that you engage with your community?" And because I'm not a very community-minded person at all, like I don't give a flying fuck about people who live around me, I actually brought up the podcasts and use like the Discord and interacting with listeners and like the community that we've created, through doing the shows as an example, and they actually found that kind of fascinating. And in the back of my head, I'm like, If nothing else, literally, like, I guarantee no one else gave them that kind of answer to that question.
Yeah, it's an interesting answer. I help old people across the street.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, there's a community garden plot that I grow tomatoes in and like look after and tend to.
And then I pick them and donate them to the local children's hospital. And while I'm there, I go and read all the kids.
Oh, the sick children
bedtime stories.
I also bedtime stories. Okay, interesting.
I also bring them video games.
Oh,
and candy.
Oh, who can confirm that? Oh, they're all dead. The dying children. Yeah, they can't.
Yeah, they sadly all tragically passed away. Yeah, it was pretty. Yeah, man, it was tough. But well, what are you gonna do?
Well, at least I got all my video games back.
Oh. We'll be back on the next episode with number 133, where we're going to be talking about Beast Wars 2nd, episode 5, Galvatron Revived.
What?
Galvatron's coming back, baby.
Something's going to happen? Galvatron style?
Yeah. And until then, I have been The Siege, one of your hosts.
And I'm your other host, NeoCal.
And until next time...
Cheetor T-posing. Out.
Bye-bye.
Bye.